Join unexpected store link in description.
Looking at. We will be looking at the journal. We will be looking at the PC checking script. So a lot of stuff that we will cover today, and I will talk a little bit about how PC checking works behind the scene, and how basically what the script is also doing behind the scene. Because many people are using the script here that we mainly use, because it does everything for us basically in the background, but they don't understand what the script is actually doing, right? So that's a little bit of a problem. I will try to cover all of this in one go, which will be a little bit over maybe 1.5 hours. Okay. We will doing this on Dave's PC. Thank you for giving me your PC, because I cannot stream because possibly I will leak something level 6, and we don't want that. So what could be a little bit confusing here to you is that the PC is in Turkish. So this will be basically very normal for everybody from English PC checking, but not from the German guys that we have in channel today. But in English PC checks, it's very, very common that you have Turkish PC in front of you. Okay. So yeah, this is the system informer, which some of you will know, but we will start using the script. The script is basically doing all of the techniques that I will train you, but it's doing it in the background, and it's sorting and filtering everything for us at once. Okay, so I will start the script, and then we will basically I will explain it step by step. So we have our cheat, so we will be cheetah now. Okay. And this cheetah did a little bit setup, and he went into the Discord folder data, right? This is the normal Discord folder, which has the Discord that is currently running on Dave's PC, which is this one. And you can already see that the file size is 175 megabyte. And I did a pre-setup in another folder, which is looking exactly the same, with the same structure, even with the same icon, right? But the file size is completely different, because this will be our cheat, so to say. It's not a cheat, obviously, but it's a portable executable, just like it's like a cheat. A cheat is a portable executable, basically. It doesn't have any dependencies normally. And because of that, it works exactly like, for example, USB DView. So USB DView, once executed, we can see all the last and current USB devices. In green, we can see the currently connected. White one is old ones or currently inactive ones. But this is basically just to show you how a cheat could execute. Also, we want to find this cheat, obviously. So this is why we look at it here. So the cheat was executed, right? The person will now come to our PC check. He closed the cheat already. So now we are the ones that need to find this file. We don't know where it is, right? This folder is closed. We have no idea where it is. So we will start the script as normal. We can use the copy here. I would really advise to you that you use clicking this little button, because if you let him like select it like this, you maybe miss something in the end, the script will not work. You miss something at the start, it will not work. This is really wonky, so you use this, you copy all at once. And you let him start the PowerShell as administrator. So we have a little bit problems that could happen here. For example, it could say, hey, this is a special version of PowerShell, or this is a special PC. It does not have import module, stuff like that. It's not a problem. We can work around that. There's workarounds for basically every problem why the script couldn't start. If there's a problem, most likely I wrote it down in the repository. If you're not in the repository, your head checker can talk to me, and I can invite you if you are already a little bit into PC checking. So if you know a little bit about it. In the repository, there's 100 articles that I wrote down on every topic. I think, Dave, you are in the in the repository, right? Oh, you're muted. Did I put you into the repository already? No, I did not put you. Okay, we can do that a little bit later. Then I can look into that. Okay, so we will start the script here. We have this pasted in, and it's running. This red one here, that's really normal. It's basically not anything bad. It's just saying, hey, this user wants to set an execution policy bypass, which we do here. We need that bypass because otherwise it doesn't let us execute freely programs in the background. It's automatically resetting after the PC check, so it's nothing bad for the once the PowerShell is closed, it's resetted. So it's nothing bad. It's just for this execution of the program. So we have a cleaner in here. We can clean the traces of our check if there was any. We can use the program menu with two, and there's different programs that we want to get. For example, for later we want to use the Echo Journal. For Turkish people and for Indian people, very often this leads to a problem, which is coming now, exactly. Because this is Cloudflare error. You just need to redo it, and then it downloads. But this is Cloudflare error, and the Cloudflare is basically not liking anything outside Germany because it's a German company. We will use the Echo Journal a little bit later. So I started already. We can also download some other programs. System Informer we will look at today. Everything is a really cool tool for finding data on a PC, on a file system. But we have a lot of programs here that we can make use of. Any program normally is explained broadly by me in the repository also. So we will go to the checks. So there's multiple checks that we can do. For example, the recording check under 3. The recording check is basically looking at processes and if they're currently running in the background. Basically, it's looking even at so-called handles. So every program that is running has different handles inside of it, modules inside of it, that do different stuff, and it's looking for exactly those handles. This normally should find every recording program that is out there, but I cannot guarantee it. It is how it is, right? So it will normally now look through Dave's processes, list them all, and in the background filters them, and then it will tell us if Dave is currently recording. It should be on because at least his NVIDIA is currently running, which we can see on top left side. I don't know. I think you can see it too, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Good. Yeah, good. Takes a little bit. It's depending a little bit on how many processes are running, how long the PC is running, stuff like that. On the side, it's also checking for VPNs, if any VPNs are running outside of browsers. Hello. Oh yeah, there. Okay, yeah, OBS is running and NVIDIA Helper is running. We can open the task manager and see if OBS is running in the background somewhere. Most likely it found a handle of OBS, but NVIDIA is also running NV container. Yeah, so you can basically just close it here and it will stop automatically anything NVIDIA recorded until this point, especially also when they try to record you with it's a replay. Okay, but back to the checks. We can make full check, we can make quick check. 99% of the checks that you do not require the full check. If you are not checking a turfer, you do not need the full check, basically. The quick check is doing exactly everything the full check does, but it takes, out of one log, it takes a little bit less. And for 99% of the checks, you will not need that. So we will also running a quick check here and downloads in the background all the dependency files. In this case, we are reading the message in Turkish, which was translated for me because I'm not that good in Turkish. And you basically just can tell him, this is the programs that we are using. Please read through it. It's doing nothing bad. It's everything from logs is kept local. It's not sent to us. We will look at everything in this stream. At any given time, if you want to stop, you can stop, right? We are not pressuring anyone into anything. So he can stop at any given time. If he's not agreeing anymore, he will be banned for security, because we will need to ban him then because he evaded the PC check. And at that given point, we cannot secure anymore that he's not a cheater. So he will be banned. But other than that, he does not need to show us anything. Nobody's pressured into anything. So we will make it. Now it's downloading a bunch of stuff in the background. Explorer. Which we can see in C. Temporary folder. Dump. And here you see it's a mess. You will not understand anything. Once it's finished, all of this will be way more clear for you and more structured. This is all just help folders for my script to run in the background. So now it will start dumping system logs and process logs and everything that we do. The first thing that we will look at is processes. Like we are dumping processes and filtering processes here. So I will basically do now what the script is doing for us in the background. Okay, so every process that you can see running here is basically storing stuff into your RAM and into your RAM and into your CPU. And this is the bytes written basically by each and every process here. Some are more active. For example, NVIDIA, obviously, once it's recording, it's writing a lot of stuff down. Games, Chrome, browsers in general are doing a lot of stuff. You can see the script is running here crazy right now in the background. GTA is running. So we will use exactly that. That is storing memory into the RAM. We will abuse that to find out what the person executed. All that we want to find basically is execution logs. Everything that is executed on the player's PC, that every executable or DLL, everything that he can start basically as a program, as a cheat. So we will go to Explorer, because the Explorer is everything that hosts our files and where we start files normally from. So we will go into that, and we can see a lot of stuff here, statistics and performance and what the process is doing for us. Also the so-called modules or handles, which I was already talking about, the DLLs that are run inside of the process. But we can also see the memory. So the memory is a big chunk of what is hidden in the RAM, basically. We can filter that out, or the strings, the readable strings, which we want to see. We can filter them out. We want to see extended Unicode. So, for example, that in Turkish or in German, we have the Ü, stuff like this. We want to see that also. Also, we want to see the mapped regions. We don't want to see the image regions. This would be basically twice. We just want the mapped regions for less outcomes. And we click on OK. Now it's searching all the strings inside of the RAM. And as you can see, remind this number, it's basically 8.5 million results it found for us, right? Remember this because we will see this declining soon. And the results of the strings is, you can see the addresses and the base addresses, how long the strings are, and the strings themselves. And you can see it's a lot of shit, right? Like, we don't need this. Like, nobody can read that, right? Like, what is that? But there's also interesting stuff in here, right? That we can read, actually. This is like something that we could use. So we want to filter that out. So since we search for executed files, we already know that we are on file systems. So we can search inside the filters inside the contains case insensitive. Contains means basically everything that we type in there, it is in the string. And case insensitive basically means if we write big or small or like this. This is like big case and lowercase, and it's not case sensitive. It's not reacting to how we write it, which is really which is way better. So we will write like this, and as you can see, each file is basically hosted on inside the file system. And the file system is in each time starting with, for example, C colon backslash, right? But some people already have like multiple disks. You can see D or C. So here the D is starting with the D backslash. So the same that they have is colon backslash. So we will be searching for colon backslash because we know that's what file systems are. That's how file systems are written every time. This is looking like a little bit of a smiley. We will go OK. And you can see instantly that the results went from 8.5 million results to 12,000. Still too much, right? We don't want so many, but we reduced them by very, very big chunk. So we also search for executables, right? So we search for .exe. Boom, down to 1,000, which is good. But now we search for, we have a lot of doubles, for example, duplicates. So we need to search maybe a little bit more for stuff. So now the big part is coming in where the script is doing us a big favor. First of all, the script is taking all of these results here automatically and makes them unique. So if we find something 10 times like this one, right? We find this very often here also, another one. It will filter them all out and makes it one line. So it's just once in our code. Second of all, it automatically checks it in the background if it's a harmful file or if it's not a harmful file. And it also checks for us if the file is still there, if the file was deleted maybe, because cheaters maybe want to delete their files, right? So we will be looking at that automatically with a script, because as you can see, 1,000 results, that's way too much for us to look at. Back in the days, we really were at such logs and we needed to scroll through them for anything that could be weird, right? So this is a lot of work and it's really hard for the eyes, because if you are in a 3 hours PC check and you are still scrolling like this through logs, you stop seeing the stuff that is obvious, right? Especially since we know that our cheat is hidden. This is the cheat, by the way, that we executed, is hidden and looking exactly like a normal file. How would you find this out, that this is the cheat in these logs? You cannot. It's impossible, right? Okay. So this is how what we are basically doing in the background with the process logs. Okay. And this is also how the system informer is working broadly. So I will go to the app data, the cheat where we have been, because we know it now, but in a PC check we wouldn't know. But for testing purposes, I will show you now. So this is the cheat. I need to get the exact address to show you something special. So this is the exact address that we executed. So now, back in the days, to tamper with our PC checks, so we cannot find those executions, they were simply trying to get rid of the strings that we placed inside of the RAM. What they did basically for this is we searched for the relative start time. So you see this process is running for 5 hours 32 minutes, right? So we were finding already the string of our cheat in here. I will show you again. Oh, now it's 10 million results. It's writing down a lot of stuff. Boom. So now you can see a lot of, yeah, it found it really often, as you can see. We just executed it one time, but it stored it very often inside of the addresses, which is no problem. It's absolutely normal. But as you can see, it found it really often. Maybe it also found, if I'm thinking about it, maybe it found it also so often because it is a legit number that you had in a version before. Let me change this real quick to a non-legit number. Let's make it 1-1. Okay. I will just to be sure, so I don't fail this. We execute the cheat again. Just to be sure. Memory. Let me find it again, just to prove that this is really the cheat that we executed, that it found. Was 11, right? Yes. Okay, yeah, this is the cheat. This is our cheat. Copy results. Yes. Okay. So what they tried to do to manipulate our PC checks was very simple. When we find their string inside of Explorer and everything that is written in RAM is temporary, which is basically how the RAM is working, why not just restart the Explorer? And that's basically exactly what they did. They restarted the Explorer, terminated, and now you can see the relative start time is set to 0. We'll come back soon. Whoop. Okay. And now you should be able to see, it's not every time working, but we will see if it's working. Should be. That the cheat is now vanished from our results. It's gone. The result is I'm searching for the exact same path, the 11046, and it's gone. So this is how they tampered with us, and this is also why we will be looking at something in the script in a second. You can see also the results went from 10 million to 2 million. So it really vanished everything that the client did in that time. So this is really important to remember why we have certain stuff in the script. Oh yeah, okay. The USBD view was found. USBD view is found here. It is a normal program, like I showed you, but script.gg is also naming that cheat USBD view for tempering purposes also. We will be opening the script here in a second. Boom, there it's open. And we will look anytime in the results first. We have the direct detections at the very top. We normally should pay attention to those because they follow very strict filters by me. And then we have the system logs, which we see connected drives, volumes in the registry, which is important to look at. We have the Windows installation date, which is giving us away a little bit information about how long the installation is running already on this PC. For example, ban evaders that just recently resetted their PC. A little bit about logs. This could be tempering. This is not 100% temperings, but this can indicate temperings indeed. We have the last recycle bin clear. So if you're on your desktop and you clean your or you package in anything into the recycle bin, this will appear here. Also, each drive has a recycle bin, their own recycle bin. So this would also show the exact drive where the last time something was put in, as well as minus settings. LOD scale value set under 1 is illegal, right? In this case, I mean, Dave is an administrator. This is not considered a cheat for administration, obviously, because for us it doesn't matter if we remove some objects or not. But for turfers, this is really, really important to look at. For normal players, I'm normally saying like, bro, remove it, okay? But in turfs, you need to know, you need to be 100% precise on your objects and that you have everything set, because we had turf teams in EN1 already which removed bushes and stones and could see players behind it and shoot at them. Even bus stops were removed from some turfs in Ghetto, where players hid behind bus stops and they could shoot them behind the bus stop, which is obviously not allowed. So what we can see here now is the process uptimes.
So
And
normally
this is
the load scale value is 1 instead of 0.
Exactly. It's 1 normally. The minimum setting to LOD scale is 1, which means all objects drawn. And this cannot go lower by the main game. What is often leading to confusion by players is that programs like, for example, NVIDIA Experience or AMD automatically have a setting enabled, which is called game experience enhancement. And this is sometimes, if you have it set that way, for example, for more performance, then it's lowering your settings for you. You don't do it. The NVIDIA is doing it for you. That's leading to some problems and confusion, obviously, because the players are saying, "Hey, I never did anything to my settings." But the problem is they are responsible for their settings. If they set another program to change their settings, we cannot do anything against it, right? They are responsible. So here's the process uptimes, and this is exactly why I showed you in the system informer before. This is the time that it will give out to us. The script was already running through. This is why the Explorer is showing on the old 5-hour mark. If we would run it now, it would show us, and I think we can do it a little bit later and run it again. It will show us a lower amount, and this could indicate tampering. So all of these processes are very, very, very important to how PC checks work and how the PC is logging stuff. But if something is a little bit reset or not, is not every time direct tampering by the player or is wanted by the player. Some stuff you shouldn't tell it to the players, but for example, direct track, they can have it turned off because it's basically Microsoft's diagnostic tool, which is reporting stuff directly to Microsoft. And we cannot go and tell players, hey, you need to have this on, which is basically spyware by Microsoft. This is not allowed, right? But standard is direct track is on.
So is a lower time on Explorer an instant ban reason or no?
So this is a little bit hard to tell. So yes, it is, but there is reasons why, for example, all of those processes would be running for 10 days and Explorer is running for 5 hours, because there is something introduced in late Windows 10, but everywhere in Windows 11, which is called hibernating boot. So your PC nowadays is not starting faster because your PC is incredibly fast. It's basically starting faster because your PC is not shutting off anymore. It's not shutting off anymore nowadays. It's just going to sleep. That's why every PC is booting faster nowadays. So basically, what they are doing is they are creating a hibernating file. Everything void. They are creating a hibernating file where the entire RAM is written into, and this file, once you boot again, is started again. That's why it knows everything already, and that's why everything is working really quickly. So this is the reason why some of the processes are running for a really long time, and sometimes the Explorer is running really low, because the Explorer and also the DWM, they are so-called visual processes. They have visual GUIs, which need to be restarted. Others, like for example the event log, PCA SVC, sysmain, DNS cache, DPS, they don't have visual services. They are running forever, right? So once they are started, they should not be restarting at any given time. Explorer can restart itself. DVM can restart itself, right? All others cannot. They cannot restart themselves.
So Explorer is restarting when a PC is going into hibernation mode.
Exactly.
All right.
So this is why you cannot you cannot say it for 100% sure. It's too hard to tell. I will show you in everything. This is, by the way, everything. Really cool file explorer, really quick file explorer. It's indexing the entire file system, and you can find whatever you want, like even hidden files, everything. So it's page file sys. This one, and you can see also is 18 gigabyte. This is basically it's overwriting the RAM on your disk in this file. And there's hyberphilsys, and this is when you restart. It's getting the rest of the RAM is getting pulled into this, and this is why it's not restarting the processes and basically just going into hibernating sleep. This is what I'm talking about the hibernation of PCs. Okay.
So can we look in everything when the start time of this hyberfile.sys is and Explorer?
Theoretically, yes, you can. Theoretically, yes, you can, but it's not 100% determinable if there is a hibernation or there was a hibernation happening. Basically, be a little bit lenient on it. If the Explorer was restarted 5 minutes before the PC check, then it's obviously he's tampering, right? But this is not a 100% giveaway why stuff is restarted. It's you cannot say it 100%. It is too hard nowadays with Windows 11. But normally you can, if you really would like to do this, there is event logs about logging into your PC. You would see it there, right? Also, down here, there's normally a indicator written down by me when there was the last boot time, when there was the last hibernation boot, when there was the last cold boot. There's multiple levels of this, and in this case, yeah, it shows us 5 hours ago it was restarted, and it's absolutely correct. Down here we have USB logs, really important to us, but we cannot go into USB manipulations today because Dave don't have a USB stick right now. So this is the last time he had a USB plugged in. This is what we can see. We have a little bit of tampering logs. Also tampering logs we will not go into today too deep because tamperings are a little bit more complex. What you need to know, if you see here a virtual disk manipulation, then 99% of the time you are having a cheater right in front of you. if it's saying that, then the person was doing a very specific type of manipulation with the hard disks. You can do it by pressing Windows and X and going into the disk Unitimi, the disk management system. So this is the disk management system, and once they are in here, they can manipulate the disk. Basically, they can split their disk, they can lower their disk, stuff like this, and create their own. Oh wait. This Dave, can I manipulate your disk? It's not harmful, but I can show manipulation with this. Then we can show the USB manipulation without being on a USB.
Yeah, sure, I can.
Yeah, good. Yeah, okay, good. Then I will just do the manipulation now in Turkish. Which one? Oh wait, I will just open it on my screen and do it. I will just do it step by step. 1 second. Shrink
A
volume.
question about the USBs. So if a player disconnected a USB drive right before the PC check, we can tell them to plug it in and show us what's on it, right?
Yeah, but normally this is already normally a reason to ban them, because they could just plug in another USB stick, and then what are you doing then?
Can you
I
look at
mean,
it in the disk management?
yeah, and then I mean, it could be whatever.
That is right.
I mean, if they bought from Amazon the exact two same USB sticks from SanDisk, for example, what are you doing about that? You cannot tell. You will never be able to figure out the exact serial disk number of this hardware of this USB stick, right? How will you do that in a normal PC check? You need way bigger tools for that. That will be really, really hard. Okay, what I now created is another file. We will go to this a little bit later. Okay, we will just move on through this a little bit to get through it quicker, and then I will explain more in detail. We have the we have threads here. Yeah, if something is shown here, look at it. It's obviously that someone should not really be tampering with their Windows Defender in my eyes, for obvious reasons. Also, other programs are listed here. We have events, which are also listed in here in more detail. But this is also for tamperings. Dave obviously did some stuff with code integrity, whatever that means for you, what you did there. There's also some PowerShell obfuscation. This is by me, by the script. So if you see this at the time where you executed it, then it's by the script. Don't mind it. Same for this. If it's by the script, if it's in the time of the script, this is all by the script. Don't mind it. Hardware malware deletion. This is basically an interesting thing if they have it really, really often, because this is also created when, and maybe you will know it, when you download something harmful or potentially harmful, the Windows Defender is giving you a window down here saying like, hey, bro, you're downloading something harmful, stop it, right? And when you click here on ignore or whatever it's called in your language, then it's doing this type of history deletion because it is temporarily in the history. You say ignore it, and then it's deleting it. So if he has it really, really often, then it could potentially lead us to a cheat being executed, because cheats to the Windows system are simply just malware. So that's what we are looking at. But I will go to the events a little bit later. So now we have suspicious files on the system. There could be a lot of stuff. This is everything that is not deleted at the given point. So you should look at any of these files, if anything looking weird to you, because then the cheat could still be on the system. I, for example, would think this is looking a little bit weird, right? D Photoshop setup.exe. This is most likely just a cracked version of Photoshop, right? Photoshop setup exe. Yeah, this is okay. This is you can see the Adobe logo. This is just a cracked version of Photoshop, I think. Dave can maybe tell us later when he can speak again. So, yeah, this is all the deleted files. Like I told you, it also tells us the deleted files. For this PC check, we don't need to look at this because we know nothing is deleted. Okay. So we did not find our cheat in here because obviously it will not go through the filters. The filters are very specific to cheats, and we don't have a real cheat executed right now. We have only a USBD view executed. So what we need to look at next is our other logs. So what we may be able to see here is different interesting logs. Prefetch, for example. We will go through the execution logs first. Prefetch is basically made for anything that is executed on, how can I say it? For everything that is executed, it needs dependencies. And dependencies are stored by the file system to next time start up faster. Because everybody nowadays doesn't have even two seconds for something to start up. You all know that. You all know it because you are also don't like to wait for anything to start up. So so this is why it's storing it all in the background. I will show you for a second what I mean with storing dependencies. Temp, dump, win prefetch view. So this is showing us a little bit better. So for the entire script, what you need to have in mind, the script and the logs that are shown here are a small version for your overview to look quickly at what the person having suspicious. This is not making a full check for you. You need to keep this in mind. You need to go into more specific programs if you want to have more specific logs. This is very important for you to know because we I can just make it so so big or small how it is right now because otherwise it's too overwhelming, right? If I would have the real logs that would be here, you would be getting so overwhelmed you wouldn't even know where to look, right? For this here, for example, we could go through quickly to today, for example, and we maybe know that he went into in game at 20. I don't know what's your time, to be honest. It's nothing of this. 19. 90. Yeah, 19. Okay. So here we, for example, would have the Discord with a just one-time run. So this is really weird, right? We could look at this time, right before he started, and then we go to runtime 1. Runtime 1. Okay, it shows us everything with a 1 in front, but for this, you would think, why would this guy have Discord just started one time? That makes no sense, right? Why would someone have just one time started Discord? This is how we could see that this is a little bit weird. If we would go, for example, now in Win Prefetch view and look at Discord and just one-time execution, then we would find that this does not have at all the dependencies of a real Discord. This is the real Discord. It has way more dependencies. It has a real Discord logo in front of it instead of this weird window here. It would have most likely icon stuff. Yeah, it has way more dependencies as this one. So it's not the real one, and it also has a completely different file size. It was just run once, and it has missing dependencies also. How we could find this R2 is clicking on last runtime and see what was executed last and everything. I mean, we executed a little bit here. This is the start of our script. This is how we can orient inside of these logs. And then we see Discord was started, but before he most likely also started Discord somewhere. There. So he started Discord already, and he already had another Discord running, which is weird, right? What we could also see here, if someone deleted a file, but this is something, if you click on process path, then here is nothing. This means the file is deleted, but it was once there. So this is how we could also determine a cheat, for example, if it's deleted. This is about Win Prefetch view, but this is just to show you how the entire dependencies stuff works. We will go to the next log for this. we will go to BAM. We will go through all the registry things now. So we have in the system, we have the registry, rec edit, long day, rec edit. This is the registry of a PC. I think most of you already saw it, maybe in a PC check, maybe in an older PC check. This is the registry. Everything which is basically settings and programs and everything is stored in here in the registry. It's a really, really big thing. As you can see, every software is stored here. You don't need to know everything. But yeah, this is storing values, registry values for everything. And we will be looking at very, very specific registry keys here. One of them is the background access manager. The background access manager is looking at everything that is started in the background and has stuff running in the background. We will not find our cheat here because it's USB DView and not a real cheat, but the real cheat would be in the BAM, locked in the BAM. We have the AM cache, which is doing something similar. It's caching dependencies in the background for each program. This is important for us, especially for cheats that are named the same as a real file, because we are looking at very specific file sizes here. If it's not in here, if it's not sorted in here, then it's not a cheat. If we would, for example, find Discord in here, that would be weird because Discord is bigger than the filter is filtering out the sizes of what we see here. Right? The filter is, for example, just looking at some files between 2 megabit and 20 megabit. While we saw before that the real Discord file has 171 or something. So this would be weird to find in here. Then we have the shim cache. Shim cache is basically looking at so-called shimming. For every file, maybe you saw before, it has something called compatibility mode. So everything that is stored and clicked in here, in this compatibility mode, is stored in the shim cache, and the shim cache is remembering. The shim cache, by far, is one of the best logs to find cheats on the registry file system, because this is often forgotten. And every sheet needs to every time request a shimming from the system. Otherwise, it cannot run. So they will be not fast enough to delete this, right? And we can most likely find our cheats in the shim cache. So this is a really, really important log to every time look at, and every time scroll a little bit through and get the evidences, even if you don't find something immediately. The SRUM is doing something else. It is basically counting the bytes written and read from the internet to our file system for each file. So, for example, if Discord is connecting to the internet and it's writing down something because Dave is streaming right now, then this will be stored here. This is also called network. I'm not on English PC, but it's called network status in English, or Netzwerkstatus in German. And this is basically what this is about. Some is maybe looking weird. For example, that play GTA 5 has 0. But Dave is most likely not playing GTA Online. This is why everything is written from the GTA 5 exe in the RageMP. But this is a lot. Dave needs help. But what we can also look at is shellbacks. Shellbacks, very, very important log to look at. This is everything that is this is when a folder is created and used on the file system. Why is this very important? Because we can see also reduxes here. For example, if every time a zip is or a RAR is accessed, this is also creating a shellback on the shellback system. Why is it also important? It can also show us the last used folders. Maybe it is also showing us, yeah. See, so last here it had a logging right after we accessed the Discord logs, but as you can see here, it's very weird that I as a user clicked on the local app data of Discord and tried to do something to those folders. Why would I do that? It's really weird that these here are locked. So this would also be a giveaway, but again, hard to tell. These are also a little bit weird, but most likely this is something Turkish. This is why the question marks are rising, because these here are not, these logs are not in Unicode. And then we have the events, also one of the most important logs that we have on the PC check, because this is the background logs of Windows, the event logs, and this is storing a lot of information about someone's PC. But it's way too much to look at. So this is why the script is doing it automatically for us. I think the event logs are crashing you out. Huh? Yeah, cupboard. Whatever. So we already have them. What is really important? Why is it so important, or why is it so good? Is because we have a level indicator of how important this is to us. This trace is to us. These are on high, there's medium, and there's low, and there is info. But there's also crit. If you find crit, then this user most likely has a problem. Either he has malware on his PC, or he has a really big problem with us because he has cheats on his PC. But you should log into this every time. Also, what is filtered out here is, for example, if someone is logging into lead sheets, leadcheats.ru, because every time this is in their logs, they logged into lead sheets. This is not, this is the script. This is the script, which is also logged here. And in there, I obviously look for lead sheets. But this is why the event logs are important. So, but how could we now find out what the cheat is? Because until now, without knowing where the cheat is, we would have a really hard time, right? So last log that we did not look into is the journal. The journal here is really small and really limited because it's so big data. Like this is already the limited version of the log, and you can see you can scroll here forever, right? And this is also already limited. So this is only for quick lookup. For example, you find something weird in results, go to journal, search it, Discord, boom, you would find it, right? But if you want to search the journal as on its own, you should every time download Easy Journal Viewer. Easy Journal Viewer, by far the best journal viewer. The journal is having everything in it, and that's why it's so important. That's written down on an NTFS drive, and what is done with it. Was it deleted? Was it created? Was it renamed? Was its data changed? Was it made bigger, smaller, whatever? Right? Really weird. Closed is not so important because closed just means an operation on the file has stopped, has closed, right? So how could we determine our cheat now? We could search for .exe because we are searching for exe files, right? We have a lot of prefetch relevant files here, obviously. So this is not so important to us, the prefetch files in this case. But we could look at the created files, right? So newly created file is the prefetch file for Discord, which I already told you is really weird because we have prefetch files for Discord already. File name, Discord, that are running 21 times, 16 times, right? So we have already, or 147 times, right? We already have Discord prefetch file logs. Why would he create another one? That's weird, right? So we would definitely need to look into this. Also, a dead giveaway in the prefetch logs is if you have something with same name every time. This is Discord, for example, with the 524C85 in the background here. But this one has a 63211. It's completely different from the others. This most likely is an old version, right? It was not used since the start of March. But these here are from the same day. But this is completely different. So this indicator basically indicates a folder on your file system. This number here is the folder that it's in. So this is weird, right? Why would this be completely different from all the others and just one time started? And
So
also,
for normal Discord, the indicators don't change. They stay the same, right? This
not
524C.
not every time, because if you think about it, every update, Discord is making a new folder, right?
Yes, but
So
it doesn't change after the update. So
its own. No, it doesn't change on its own. Every time this folder is newly created and you start Discord from this folder, then a prefetch is newly created. Other than that, no.
So every version of Discord has its own indicator.
Exactly. You can see it here. The 13s, the 14s, they are on the same. The 5th and the 4th, they are on the same. Since then, it's every time the same folder, but this one is not. Oh, and on the bottom you have after the 14th. Okay, but after this one is not, right? But they are on the same day. So either there was an update right then, right before the PC jack, or someone renamed the file here, which is weird to me. But we also found that it was just created right before the PC jack that we started, right? So this is also really weird. What else do we have? We have Discord on, I think, what is Belgia? It's is it the desktop or downloads or something?
Documents.
Documents. Oh yeah, I put it in documents. True. So it wasn't documents before, and then there was some created in a folder. It was created. That's weird, right? We can also look at rename from rename to, right? So we see Discord was in downloads. Why would Discord be in downloads? That makes no sense because it would be Discord setup, right? But we also have a rename. Oh, it was given here. Oh, now we can see it was renamed from USB dview and renamed to Discord exe. So this is really weird. This is a direct indication of something is tampering and someone is tampering with us. This is not good. So we would be instantly looking at this file here. We can just click on this little folder. Okay, it doesn't like this. It doesn't like this on the SPC, but we can just simply go there, no problem. We can also, from this, we can directly copy the file path and just go there. Oh, it's not there anymore because I renamed it. Oh my god, I'm dumb. I renamed it to 11. Oops. Okay, like this. So now we could just see that this is not the real Discord, right? It has a completely other indicator icon, and then we see this is not the real Discord. So this is how we would find this cheat, right? Over multiple logs. You need to remember that most of the logs that I showed you here do not show us the cheat, like the USB dview made up cheat that I just placed, because it has too low of a file size, so it's running through the logs, right? It's not mentioned in the logs. A real cheat would have been having multiple traces over multiple logs, right? You need to remember this. So this is basically how we would find this cheat. However, However, there could be someone coming right before the PC check. He executed this cheat, right? And he can just now it has the right file